Thank you for joining us for another episode of Sci-Fair Real Talk. We are your hosts. My name is Jim Mulholland.
And I am Rodney Jordan.
And thanks again for you guys for joining us today on episode 2 of Sci-Fair Real Talk. It's been a little longer than we had hoped getting this episode out with some technical difficulties.
Just a few.
Just a few, yeah. So hey, it's a learning process. Who knew running a podcast would be so intricate?
Yes.
A lot of details you have to consider when you're working on a podcast, but we're working through it, and we're gonna get better every week. And I think this week is going to be a good one. Rodney, what do you think?
It is. It is. We have a lot of reps, a lot of false starts, but the thing about it is we kept coming. We didn't give up.
We're not giving up.
We kept coming.
The public needs to know. The public needs to know.
If they knew what this fist pump means right now, we kept going, bro. We kept going.
No. So today is Friday, April the 5th. So our last podcast was a little over 2 weeks ago. Lots happened between now and then. We had a nice little party here at the office.
A fun party, Astros
watch party. So it was had a good turnout. Some really good sponsors.
Yeah.
And Old Republic Title, Texas Certified Home Inspection, amongst others. But no, it was good. Other than the Astros lost.
Yeah, they didn't participate. And we had some friends stop by from the local area here. Some friends of the show and friends of yours, and some of the agents. It's a good party. Party.
That was good. Yeah, we had a couple beers on tap. We had lots of we had hot dogs, a lot of good ballpark food, right? Hot dogs. Yeah. We had nachos.
What were those hot dogs? James
Coney Island, JCI, baby.
That's right.
JCI.
I'm hearing they're hard to find.
Yeah, you don't see a lot of JCI anymore, but no, they're very tasty. But yeah, so that was a lot of fun. Other than the Astros, again, they did lose that. And as well as the rest of the entire series against the Yankees, we were 0-4 against the Yankees. But first win was a no-hitter Blanco. Complete game no-hitter.
We have hope.
Game number 5. I want to say it was the earliest a no-hitter's ever been thrown in Major League Baseball.
Really?
Yeah. Well, the season's been starting earlier and earlier and earlier over the years. So, but I want to say, in terms of the actual date of the year, April, whatever that day was, I want to say was the earliest a no-hitter's ever been thrown. So that was awesome.
Well, we'll take that.
Yeah,
we'll definitely take that.
Absolutely. So that was fun. And see, there was a barbecue cook-off in Bridgeland.
Yes, there was. Was that the 15th annual one?
I think it was the 15th annual. So my oldest son, Ben, he's 18. He was the judge. So he got to judge all 3 meats, the chicken, the ribs, and the brisket.
Yes.
Then he came home and he slept for like 24 hours straight.
Yes. He hibernated
food
after
coma.
the event.
Yeah. So, but that was fun. So I was there for a little bit. I actually had a baseball game. I coach out in Fairfield, my younger son. I coach him in baseball. We had a baseball game that day. So I missed a lot of the festivities, but it looked like a lot of fun.
I was going to ask you about the festivities. You said a few years back you went to that event and they were doing like car shows.
Oh, yeah. They still do every year. It's the barbecue cook-off and car show.
So they did it again this year?
They did. Oh, yeah. So they have all these nice classic cars and sports cars and back in 2017. So I got second place in that car show. So the December 2016, I was one of the first people to get a Tesla Model X. Not a lot of them on the road, not like today where every other car is a Tesla. But yeah, so I brought my car, put it in the car show. Not many people had seen them. The funny thing was everyone had their hoods up to show off their engine, and I put my hood up to show off my frunk. And everyone got a big kick out of the frunk.
Like, where's the
between
engine?
the frunk and the wings and the Falcon wing doors? I think that's kind of what put me over the top. So yeah, so still have that trophy. Should have brought it. Could have showed it off. But something to be proud of.
Second
still
place in that.
That's right. Still display that proudly in my office at home. So that's good. But yeah, so that was fun. Yeah. Anything else over the last couple of weeks?
Yeah, I went. We had the big movie release, Ghostbusters.
Oh, nice,
you and I were talking about that when you came in the office here, and I recommend that movie. It was Ghostbuster? It's called The Frozen Empire, which was they brought back a lot of the the characters
The
from
original
the
cast.
oh
Yeah, that's
boy,
what I
when
hear.
you're seeing Dan Aykroyd, Ernie Hudson, everyone, Bill Murray. It is definitely a treat, and I just remember Ghostbuster and the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man, and they had all this stuff. But I don't want to spoil it. I don't want to give it away. But go see it. I
Right. Oh
can't.
yeah.
Maybe
Yeah.
we'll hear what
Check
you
it
have to
out.
say about
Yeah.
it.
We'll see if we can get the boys and the family to go check it out.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's good.
Well, that's a good one.
All right.
Well, we're moving on into our second episode, and episode one gave us some feedback. I heard some really good stuff, and we implemented some of the feedback, some of the changes, the mic stands, the equipment, and things like that we've seen. And I like to say this: hopefully, if you've watched the first episode and you're watching this one or listening to this one, we're hoping you notice the difference and give us that feedback. It encourages us to keep getting better and doing what we have to do and keep bringing these episodes.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. No feedback. That was a nice thing about that Astros party. It was the day after this was released, and we had a few of our friends and colleagues that had listened to it, so we were able to get face-to-face feedback and thoughts.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, no, but in general, it was positive. So I think nice upbeat vibe to the show, which is kind of what we're going for. So love the introductory song.
Yeah. Oh.
Sci-fi real talk. Let's get down to it.
Well, hey, look. Before we launch our singing career,
Yes.
let's get down to the show, and we'll go into our first segment.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
And this is from episode one, where we tell everyone if you work in real estate, you better be prepared to answer this question. So, Jim, I hope you are prepared.
No,
because
we're
I'm
ready.
getting ready to answer that question.
Yeah. What is the question?
How's the market?
How's the market? Yes.
How's the
again.
market?
Yeah. When you're real estate, you guys know. If you're in
How's the
real
market?
estate and you meet someone out and about,
Yeah.
you know, your realtor. Hey, Jim, what do you do? I'm a real estate. How's the market?
How's the market?
So, luckily for you guys, our listening public and viewing public, for those on YouTube and other sources, we have a new set of data for sales coming in through March. And let me actually reset this, because this is just for Bridgeland, which, we actually didn't go through what else we're talking about, but we will be doing a community spotlight on Bridgeland
we
here in
will.
a bit.
And we'll be checking rates today too.
Yeah, we'll
checking
be
to see
seeing what's going on with
rates.
the interest rates.
stuff going
yeah,
on.
and there's some other thing. We haven't even talked about the solar eclipse.
No, we haven't.
There's a lot of people think it could be a crazy eclipse, but that should be nice. Apparently, Amy says it's going to be the first total eclipse in the state of Texas since what year, Amy? Oh, she has her earphones on. I
Noise
want to say it was like
cancellation.
1970 something, and she's not looking at me.
Oh, now she's looking at us. Yeah, this is all on the show. I love it.
What year was the last time we had a total eclipse in Texas?
1979.
She is a
1979.
She is a
Boom.
genius. Look
Walking
at that.
encyclopedia. Amy
Bam,
Denton. Thank you, Amy.
Bam, boom,
All
skis.
right. She was willing to take down her earphone and stop listening to Taylor Swift for enough time.
New album coming soon.
Yes. Yeah. New album's dropping in like 2 weeks. We're very excited here at the office. So that's going to be amazing. Anyway, so yeah, the eclipse, that's some news. I wanted to touch on, which we just did, the community spotlight. Anyway, so let's get back to the market.
Yeah, how's the market?
So the market is, so again, here's the data. Let me go change this. Again, this is cypherrealestate.com. This is our company that we work at. If you go to cypherrealestate.com, search and go to community charts, this brings up this nice chart you can only find here because it was created by me. But we right now are grabbing data in the northwest part of the Houston metro area, which includes Cy-Fair, Waller, and Tomball ISDs.
Yes.
So if I go here, this is from 2015 through March 31st, 2024. Okay. So if I go here, let me just get last year, and then we'll just go through March 31st and apply that. So there we go. So this is all sales from January 2023 through March 31st of this year. And you can see overall prices are still trending down a bit. December,
Just a little bit,
January a
though.
little lower
Not
than
a-
December. Everything's a little lower. That's on the overall price.
Yeah.
Per square foot is pretty even. Actually, from January, February is a little higher at 161 square foot, and then February a little higher, 162. Days on market has leveled off, 43 days on the market. The number of home sales, as expected, is going up, and I fully anticipate they'll keep going up through June or July.
Yeah. We're getting to the selling season.
So that's the norm. Last year, we kind of peaked out right there in June before it started going down. So again, if I take out, again, something else you can do on our site is there's a new construction. If I go and so say false on new construction, this will only bring me the resales.
Okay.
You can see prices on resales have gone down a bit from 345 to 330 per square foot. We've gone from 154 up to 156, so it's gone up a little bit, and the days on market gone from 39 to 34. So you can kind of see because the especially with when you included the days on market was 43. Now it's 34. So the new homes stay on the market a little longer. If I do the opposite and only look at new home sales, you'll see the days on market as high as 71.
Yeah, yeah, and we talked about that. I think just internally here in the office, that's oftentimes the builders will put homes in MLS sooner as they were building the homes or they're under construction. So you see a little bit of lead time on the days on the market and everything.
Right.
Whereas sellers, we're timing the market. Those that have good real estate agents will tell them when to put their home on the market and a good time to do that. So yeah.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
So yeah, like you said, builders a lot of times will put a house on the market right when it start building.
Yeah.
Overprice it, see if they can get lucky and get someone who doesn't have a realtor who doesn't know any better come and overpay.
Just walk in the door.
Walk in the door and overpay. So that's why you do see these new constructions being a little higher.
Yeah.
If we look at only the new construction, and let's only limit it to Cypher ISD, you can kind of see what Cypher is doing. The days on market is 35 per square foot. You're looking at 150, and price is 315. That's for the entire Cypher ISD. And if we go and only look in Cypress, since that's where we're headquartered, that's where we do a majority of our business. Average price in Cypress is 385 per square foot. You're looking at 158. And days on market's at 41. Interesting. The days on market actually went up in March.
It did.
37 to 41. That's interesting. Number of sales went from 139 up to 153. So,
Well, yeah. Well, we're seeing a little bump on the sales, and we expect that to continue to go up. But again, finding someone local, someone that lives, works, plays in the area, it's the value. There's
yeah,
just a lot
absolutely.
of value. So
And kind of going back to what we touched on episode 1 of Sci-Fi Real Talk. If you kind of just go out from the beginning, you can kind of see how we peaked here in 2022, right after the end of the COVID mania, with the building, with all the supply chain issues and everything else, where prices just went crazy. It's pretty much been flat, if not down a little bit, basically over the past 2 years.
yeah.
So you know what's frustrating about that, Rodney?
What's that?
My HCAD valuation still went up like another 15%. They just
Really?
released that last week, and I want to say they jacked it up like another 15%. I should go show them our friggin' chart. 2024 is definitely or 23 is maybe less than 22 on average.
Yeah, for those listening, HCAT is our appraisal district,
Yeah.
Harris County appraisal district, and it's like, how do they do their numbers? I
Yeah.
think people who have a taxing entity that they know, it's like, or do they have real estate agents, or what are they using? Are they just
I don't know. I mean, it's frustrating because our taxes, I'm in Bridgeland, Texas, have gone down. The rates have gone down, but it's completely offset by the actual valuations going up. And when those people not in Texas, or I think it's a Texas thing, if you homestead your house, they can only raise the appraised value about 10% each year. So even though the market value will go up more than that, they can only raise the appraised value up to 10%, up to, or your market value, whichever is
Okay.
higher. But the problem is when you're this much higher, then your market value is that much higher. Than you
Yes.
expect a 10% bump pretty much for the next few years until it catches up.
Boom,
Unless
boom,
you
boom.
fight it, and there's companies that can fight it for you. You can go and fight it, battle
Mm-hmm.
it yourself. But anyway, so I just thought that was interesting because if you look at this chart, it's definitely flat.
Yeah.
And yet HCAD keeps insisting that our prices are really higher. But
Yeah.
I digress.
Yes.
So, but yeah, so in general, I think it's a good market, right? I think it's a very stable market. Sellers, buyers,
You have a few clients coming out too, and a lot of the sellers are asking you the question, is it a good time to put it on the market? And how would you what would you say as far as the timing now?
no, timing's great now,
Okay.
right? Yeah, this one you want to list March, April, May.
Okay.
Because everyone who's looking to buy, the majority of people that buy, especially in Cypress, are looking for schools, right? Cypress has some of the best schools in the state. Bridgeland, Fairfield, Coles Cross, all these master plan communities around here have some of the best schools in the entire Houston area. So people are looking for the schools, and they want to move when the kids are out of school. So they're looking to move in June, July, maybe early part of August. So you want to list March, April, May.
Okay.
Then
Kind of ahead of the storm and the frenzy and things like that. Okay.
so it's and as a buyer, I think it's a good time to buy too because there's typically more inventory, right? You got every day you got few more houses being listed, some more selections, more options. So and builders typically try to get their inventory to be ready, and ramped up and ready to go in the summer also. So it's a good time for both buyers and sellers. Interest rates it's kind of a good segue for interest rates, but those have been kind of steady. So I know there's been a lot of people freaking out on interest rates because it's been a little difficult.
Yeah, and we've been having the Fed chairman talking, and I was looking at some of the reporting, from his latest, he's kind of like Pontatani Phil when he pops out. Everybody's looking to see, well, did he see his shadow? But one of the big quotes from it, he says rate cuts are likely at some point this year.
I think they're supposed to do 3. They're supposed to have 3.
He said some point.
It's we're already a quarter through the year and there haven't been any. He's been saying that since I think October or something, November, December. Anyway, we're still nothing yet, but he's still looking for inflation to lower. That CPI number is always big. Unemployment numbers. So interesting. Unemployment went up. But then I just heard something today about jobs. There's a huge increase in jobs.
Yes.
So anyway, so who knows? It's all over the place.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what the Fed's looking at because what we don't want is just the inflation to keep going through the roof because it's been crazy.
Yeah. Prices have gotten out of hand.
So we've been in a holding pattern, and you can kind of see that in the interest rate. So here, basically, when he came out, I think when he came out back in December and said, "Hey, we're going to start lowering," that's when the rates completely crashed. Right, this is 30-year mortgage went from 7 down to 6 and 5/8, and that was mid-December, and it slowly kind of creeped up until end of February, and it's been kind of flat since. So. But again, last time we kind of discussed this, and I'll mention it again, but 30-year mortgage rates pretty much follow the 10-year treasury. And I had mentioned last time that I like to look at the 10-year treasury to kind of predict what the mortgage rates are going to do, try to. I'm using technical analysis, something I do when I try to trade stocks. I'm not great at it. I wish I was much better. I would be doing much better in the market, but I kind of get the basic gists of supply and demand and support and resistance, all that kind of stuff, and trend lines.
Okay.
But if you look at, again, we discussed this on our last episode, we've been in this uptrend now since December, right? Since the everything crashed, right? This is where everything crashed, the rates. But we've been in an uptrend since, and it's been bouncing off this uptrend line, 1, 2. And last time we talked, it was getting back towards that same trend line.
I remember.
And I remember I said, hey, if it goes down, that's a good sign. I mean, the mortgage rates are going to go down. Good sign for buyers, right? Again, maybe not for savers. If you're someone to save money, you prefer the higher interest. But if you're looking to buy a house, if you want to cross through this line. Anyway, it completely skyrocketed.
So, looks like it rebounded. It just bounced off of that.
Pretty high, and then it just bounced off this line that was resistance. Now it could be support, which means that the 7% could be kind of the bottom here for, until it crosses through that. But it looks like it 7%, because again, you can kind of estimate about 3%, 2.5% to 3% higher of this 10-year treasury yield is what the 30-year mortgage is going to be. And right now it's about 4.4, and the average mortgage right now is about 7.
Yeah.
So anyway, so this is not great for mortgage rates. Again, if I was a bet man, not financial advice. I'm not telling you to invest or not invest, but based on the trend it's in, and the fact it's bouncing off this, what was resistance, now it's support. I would say that my forecast would be that the rates are going to probably go a little higher from here.
Okay.
So at least in the near term. But again, it could be, once we talk next week, we'll look at this. Every week I want to look at this just to see what we are, but we'll see how it goes.
Well, it's always good to look at the numbers instead of chasing the headlines. Just look at the data.
Right. Oh yeah, data. That's it. So here's
I understand the news.
So that was the daily chart. Again, it's for those that don't do technical analysis. I think I mentioned that last time. It's pretty crazy how stuff just bounces. So this is a weekly chart, and you can see how we bounced off this top multiple times and bounced off this bottom multiple times. So. And then if you do a monthly chart, again, I did this last time, but this is
look at that.
From 1980. It just was in a complete downtrend up until COVID, and then COVID made it spring up. But it crashed really quickly, kind of a flash crash in terms of the rates in COVID. And if you were basically refinanced and bought a house in 2020 and early 2021, you crushed it in terms of the rate.
It was a short opportunity to do it.
Yeah, and that that's part of the problem of not the problem, but one of the reasons I think prices are staying high is all those people that got those low rates. If they don't have to move, why would you move?
Yeah, they call them the golden handcuffs.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, they're golden handcuffs.
There's no reason, right? I got this 30-year mortgage for 2 3/4. Why the heck would you move? It's like free money.
Yeah.
So So anyway, so that's kind of where it is. So we're kind of busted out of this downtrend. We're in a downtrend in terms of rates from
when you look at that.
1981.
Wow.
The same downtrend from August 1981, and we busted out of it basically June 2022. So that was a long trend. But yeah, so but it has been stable over the past several months. So I think in general things are looking pretty good.
And we're in a wait and see period with the feds and what they're going to do as far as the cuts. And like he said, at some point, so we'll see when that point is. And what they're doing. But okay, we talked kind of just the market and the things, but one of the things that we mentioned and we wanted to do was bring forward and spotlight some of the neighborhoods, some of the communities. We wanted to be a local voice for Cypress in the Sci-Fair market and from our team and what we're hearing. And today we're going to bring forward a community, and we decided, why not start at home? Why not start from the mothership? Right here. Yeah. So let's jump into it. On this section, we're going to have Bridgeland as our community spotlight, a Howard Hughes community.
It is biggest master plan community in Cypress. I want to say it's the second biggest. I could be wrong on that, but it's definitely in the top handful of master plan communities in the Houston area. Woodlands being the biggest.
Yes, and that's also a Howard Hughes development.
It is Howard Hughes development. So the Woodlands. So Bridgeland's big. It's 11,000 plus acres. So it's a big neighborhood. Yeah. The Woodlands, I want to say 36,000. I mean, it's huge. I mean, it's so anyway. But yeah, Bridgeland. I have it highlighted here. If you can see my map for those listening via the podcast, you'll see a cute little white surround. Sorry, I was being summoned by Amy.
Oh, I was looking there.
Anyway, but yeah, it's about 20 miles from downtown. No, I'm sorry, 25 to 30 miles from downtown, depending on the part of Bridgeland. You can see Bridgeland is almost the size, about a quarter of the size of the inner loop here in Houston.
That's one community.
Yeah.
That's one master plan.
So it's big, but if I zoom out a little bit, you can kind of see where we are in terms of Texas and the area of Houston and the Gulf of Mexico. But
it's like a small town.
Yeah, it's a lot, 11,000 acres. It's going to be 20, 30,000 people, I think, when it's all said and done. But yeah, so that's a very high overview. If I go to Bridgeland.com, they have a nice little map. So Bridgeland is divided into sections.
Okay.
There's 4 like residential sections, and then they have something called Bridgeland Central, which is going to be kind of mixed use residential and then commercial.
So it looks like the development's going from east to west. Is the way
Correct.
it's going out. Okay.
Right. Yeah. So Lakeland Village is the original. 2006 is when they started that.
Okay.
That finished off a few years ago. Parkland Village is what they developed next. All those are in Cy-Fair ISD.
Okay.
Parkland Village is just about finishing up. They're wrapping up the development in Parkland Village. You can kind of click on Parkland Village map here. You can kind of see, again, everything. These are actual lots.
Yeah.
So we're looking at a map of Parkland Village. Anything that's gray means sold. Anything that has a color is still available, either a inventory home or a lot to be built. But there's not a lot of colors in Parkland.
There's a lot of gray. It's selling fast.
So you can
It's sold
see
fast.
you can see here also they got the Wells Elementary School here. It says Future Sprague Junior High, Middle School. That's already built. That opened this year, and then Bridgeland High School all here in a nice little complex. So nice thing about Bridgeland, there's 3 elementary schools in the neighborhood. So yeah, Pope Elementary is the original. Wells Elementary came after that, and then I forget the name of the other elementary school.
Robert, the new one, the Robert.
Yeah, I feel embarrassed.
Well, it's like, hey, I don't have
Anyway.
that age kids.
Yeah, I don't. Anyway, the new elementary school, it's not on this map.
Yeah, I think it was, what do we say here? I
Oh, there it is. McGowan. McGowan, thank you. Okay,
Or
it's down
we
here.
can remind the people you can find some information on that at scifairrealestate.com.
Cypherrealestate.com. Oh, yeah.
Yes,
So,
we did.
but McGowan opened, I think, a year and a half ago. So those are the 3 elementary schools. Those are all in Cy-Fair ISD. Bridgeland, like you said, is going from east to west. They started building Prairieland Village a couple years ago, and that is split. So the first part of Prairieland Village actually had a small section that was in Cy-Fair ISD.
Okay.
And those residents would go to Bridgeland High School, I think Wells Elementary, et cetera, et cetera. Sprague Middle School, but the newer parts are all in Waller ISD.
Okay. So there's a cutoff.
There is a cut, and I don't have it here where it is, but there's definitely a cut. So the middle school, middle school, and high school are all over in Waller, so it's a little bit of a commute.
Okay.
That's one of the drawbacks of being, one of the first people in this new section. They are building a new elementary. It's called McCreevy Elementary School, and that will be open in Waller ISD, and it'll be open in this coming fall, so fall 2024. So they also have Cypress Christian is a private school that's currently located like off
It's a big school.
Jones and Cypress North Houston
Yes.
area.
They have a great academic program, great
A
sports
lot of good
program
feedback.
there.
We have a lot of friends who go
Great
to
people.
Cypress Christian. Nothing but great things. Is
Yeah, my
what I
neighbor's
hear.
daughter goes there. And,
So they're actually moving their campus all the way over here to Bridgeland. So the walls are up there. I drove by that a few days ago. Walls are up and it's moving. So
Really?
I think it'll be ready. I'm gonna guess in 2025, but
Okay.
don't quote me on that. I'm just basing that on seeing some walls go up.
just
So
stay tuned. Just
That's
stay
right.
tuned, and we'll
we
bring
will
it
keep
to
you posted.
Okay.
But again, you can kind of see here a lot of gray lots. A lot of lots already sold here in Prairie Land, but there's a lot of options
opportunity.
too.
Some
A lot of
opportunity
options, a lot of lake lots, and a lot of parks. So one thing I didn't mention is Bridgeland. One of the unique things of Bridgeland is every home is within a quarter mile of a house. Every home is within a quarter mile of a park.
Okay.
So a lot of parks, playgrounds, pools, lakes to fish, tennis courts. So lots of things to do in
I was messing
Bridgeland.
around that website. You guys got like they have boat docks there where they have like the pontoon boat with a little paddle boats.
The paddle boats, you can do paddle boating, and
Did not
kayaking,
know
paddle
that.
boarding. Yeah. So lots of things to do in Bridgeland. So
Okay.
it's a good thing in terms of parks and then events, like we had mentioned. The
Air conditioning.
it's just got really quiet here, folks. Sorry about that. It's like, what that just happened. But a lot of events. We had mentioned the barbecue cook-off. But then Bridgeland actually has a couple events. They do a Halloween fest,
There's
which
always
is
something
and it's
going
Howl
on.
HOWL, so it's like a dog
Oh,
dog
okay.
Halloween. So people bring their pets. And then there's a nature fest where they bring in like zoo animals and petting zoo and that kind of stuff. In addition,
The
just
farmers market, they
farm-
do a
yeah,
big one. You
monthly
see it
farmers
right
market.
here on Fry Road. You can see them. They set up all the trucks, and those things go into the evening. I've seen
well,
like
they
other
have
little.
the farmers market is usually on Sundays, and then they
Okay.
have something else on Fridays called Friday Night Bites.
Okay,
And that's just a whole bunch of food trucks
There
they
we
bring
go.
out, and people
There
just
we
kind of
go.
go out. It's like in a parking lot street, and people just go and eat different food trucks. So, but yeah, so it's lots of things to do. It's just a very peaceful, tranquil type of an atmosphere. As mentioned, talking to you earlier, but if you go down the hustle and bustle and Fry, it can get you pretty frantic because of the traffic and lots of
yeah, that's an understatement.
just the strip centers and just a lot of stuff going on. And you turn left down Bridgeland Lake Parkway, and it's like your blood pressure just goes down. It's just so tranquil with all the greenery, the lakes, the birds.
Woosah.
Yeah, so it's nice. There's especially Lakeland Village, there's no power lines above ground, so you just see trees and nature. So they've done a lot of things, a lot of little details they've done. They've done them really well.
Yeah. Well, speaking of the little things, you kind of mentioned some of the pros. If I had to ask you, give me, for someone coming from out of town, what would be the pros and cons of moving or living in Bridgeland?
Yeah, good question. So, I did a video. It's funny. I should go back and rewatch that. But I did a video, I think in 2011, 2012,
Okay.
where I'd go through the likes and dislikes at Bridgeland.
Now, has that list changed?
It has changed a bit.
Okay.
Because I know one of the
This
things
is
I
the
mentioned
updated.
was the dislike, and it's not really the case anymore. It's just it was out in the middle of nowhere. There was no shopping. There was
Oh, it's
nothing
somewhere
out there.
now. It's somewhere now.
It's the opposite. But taxes were a big dislike because back then taxes were 3.75.
Mm-hmm.
Now, from the older sections, we're 2.95. So the tax rates are lower. After homestead, you're looking at 2.6.
Okay.
But the benefits are obviously the schools, just the community, the things to do, the parks.
And your kids are pretty active at that school. They're not just going there. They're kind of a part of this student body there.
Right.
I know
Yeah.
that.
So and that's a big part of it. You got to be active in the community. Yeah, I mean, it's just, people are friendly. It's always something to do. And there's, lots of shopping around here now. You got the outlet mall, you got a lot of restaurants and shopping. They're building a brand new 2-story HEB in the community that's going to bring even more shopping. So a lot of the things that were kind of dislikes before are no longer dislikes.
Just give it some time, huh?
Right. So I would say in terms of dislikes now, it's the traffic. I mean, it gets a little hectic when you're trying to get out of the
Is that in
neighborhood,
the
especially.
mornings, the school traffic, or
School
you see
traffic.
the rush hour traffic? Is that
Yeah,
more like
rush
the
hour
standard
coming out of
stuff?
school, basically in the afternoon from 3 to 6 p.m. If you're trying to go down Fry, you're just going to be it. So you're just sitting there waiting. So, so that's the drawback. And the taxes in the new areas are still going to be over 3, so it's still a little high in the tax rates. There is a fee when you sell in Bridgeland. It's called a conveyance fee. There's a foundation fee. It's funny. Bridgeland and Town Lake both have this fee. One calls it a conveyance fee. One calls it a foundation fee. I forget which is which. I think Bridgeland is a conveyance fee.
Okay.
Regardless, it's just an extra fee you pay the HOA when you sell the house.
Okay.
So for Bridgeland, it's like 0.5%. So
When you sell.
when you sell, typically it's a seller fee, but it's kind of a negotiable fee. Again, talk to your realtor.
Talk to your realtor. Talk to your realtor.
So that's something. The fees. If you're coming from somewhere where you have a lot of land and space to move around, you're not gonna have a lot of elbow room in Bridgeland. Most of the houses are pretty, they're smaller size lot for the most part. 'Cause it's a master plan community. But one thing I do like about it is they have done a good job with making streets that kind of move around or kind of. See how they kind of swivel and turn, and which I think is a good thing because that kind of gives you no streets are like straight, right? You don't have straight blocks.
Yeah, they said that's good for like traffic flow, and you get a lot of cul-de-sacs and knuckles, so it makes for some nice nice little enclaves in there, and
Little
things like that,
enclaves, and then
versus
some
like some straight, road
some,
you're
and the
going
lots are
down.
just vary, right? So you can get small lots, but you can also get big lots, big backyards, wide backyards, narrow
Yeah.
and deep. So it gives you a lot of variety.
Okay.
Versus Town Lake, it would be. We'll highlight that, I'm sure, here soon.
Mm-hmm.
But I would say it would be the opposite, and it's very squared off. The streets
Okay.
are squared off and blockish. So every lot, if it's a 50-foot lot, you got a 50 by 120-foot lot. That's pretty much what
Yeah, you know, you
90%
just
of the
gave
lots
me
are.
something. We may start doing a comparison thing. Maybe put these communities up and see for people that are trying to make that decision.
Right.
This community versus this
Pros and
community.
cons. Pros and cons. Yeah, there it is.
Yeah,
So,
stay tuned. Stay tuned.
but yeah, so pros, great community, great schools, a lot of parks, good people. Cons, traffic. If you're looking for a big lot, probably not where you want to be. If you don't want to be messed with from an HOA, HOA, pros and cons of the HOA is, they're good because they keep the community looking good and everything looks the same.
Yeah.
Con is the community needs to be, they make sure the community is looking good and everything is the
Yes.
same, because they'll get on you about every little thing you do to your house.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, no, definitely if you looking to move into Cypress, and Bridgeland's one of the places you want to look at, please. Yeah.
And I jotted down one more thing for Bridgeland because we've celebrated a few holidays here. Bridgeland is absolutely beautiful during the holidays, Christmas, the lights. People
it is.
really, you guys get crazy with the lights in there. I
No,
mean,
they
there
do.
are some houses that we see when you see an area, you see it through the seasons, living here and seeing what those holidays look like and things like that. Like you were just talking about the Halloween stuff. But when I drove through and I go, man, look at the lights. It's just like a little winter wonderland in there in Texas.
And Bridgeland does a good job, just community too. They do a lot of lights and all the entrances and
yes.
stuff, so they
Yes,
do a
the
good job
monuments are
too.
beautiful.
But yeah, no, Bridgeland's always a nice time of year, and Christmas. But they also have a very nice fireworks show, 4th of July. 4th of July is
Now that I didn't know about.
yeah. So they do a great fireworks. So does Town Lake. They both do really. It's
Okay.
funny. We have competing fireworks shows. You can,
Yeah?
A lot of times you can see both. If you sit in the Cider Range parking lot, high school, you can watch both fireworks shows at the same time. But they don't spare any expense on the fireworks show. So it's
Really?
definitely worth
Wow.
a watch.
That
Yes,
is so
4th
nice.
of July. So it's a good time to watch.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. So that is pretty much it on Bridgeland. If you guys have any questions, feel free to comment or call us, ask us, reach out. We're not difficult to find online.
Yes, and we have loads of agents that definitely help you. And would love to work with you. Kenton, one of our top-selling agents, has done a lot of deals in Bridgeland.
Yeah, he's a top producer.
A few people.
I'm a top producer.
Yeah.
I was a realtor of the year in Bridgeland.
We got some hardware up there.
Anyway, yeah, I
There we
forget what
go.
year it was. I want to say 2016 or something. But
I see Amy. Amy's looking at us. Look at this face over here.
oh yeah, Amy broke one. So that was sad. She broke one. Oh, sorry.
We weren't supposed to say that. Well, I have to edit that
One of
out in
my-
post. Or
yes.
keep it in, Jim. I think we keep it.
One of my hard fought, but one of the awards I worked really hard for.
And then
It
Amy
broke.
just
Yeah,
tossed
it's
it
just like nothing.
out the
Yeah.
thing. She's like,
Yeah, I
what
don't
do we keep it? Go win another one. Hey.
Yes. So but that was a good conversation. But every
Yeah.
week we'll do one of the spotlights. So that was
I
nice.
like it. That's our first community spotlight.
There you go. Anything else? I know typically we'll do an interview. Again, we're still kind of working
They're
out some of the kinks, getting
coming
getting those.
soon.
We'll start interviewing some of our agents and other local celebrities and people of interest. So that'll be coming here pretty soon. But no, I think
I want to tell the people too. Let us know what you think of that song, Jim. I think a lot of people are loving this song. I
we'll
know.
start playing it, so.
Real estate. Okay, all
Yeah,
right.
it's catchy. Once you hear it, you'll keep singing the jingle. That's for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, so and then things between now and next week, anything coming up other than that eclipse we already touched on.
Yes, we have that, and it's happy Fair Housing Month, April to everyone.
Happy Fair Housing Month,
yes,
everyone.
Fair
Please
Housing
celebrate
Month.
responsibly.
There you go.
So happy Fair Housing
Yes,
Month here in the United
celebrate
States.
with your realtor.
Yes, so that's good. That is nationally, right? So it's not
Yes,
just
yes.
Texas. Oh yeah, Fair Housing Month. So that's exciting. So that is something definitely keep in mind. We're still keeping tabs on the NAR settlement, so that's like still top and center in the real estate news. But no new news. There's still things are moving. So
Things are moving.
any new news, we'll definitely mention it here. But yeah, I think that's all.
You know what? I think we just did.
we did
I
it.
think we just did episode
We did.
2.
All right. I
got
think we're
this
good.
big smile
Episode
on
2
my
in the
face.
books. It looks like it actually recorded. We got sound. I think we got video.
Huh?
Everything's looking good. I think we got 2 cameras still working. Oh, there's that
Nice.
one. You know that
Nice.
one's yeah. So we're good.
Definitely
So
thank
both
everyone for coming by. Thank you for being a part of
YouTube
this.
podcast crowd, YouTube crowd, wherever you're watching us, we appreciate you. Subscribe, like, share, everything, all that good stuff. So,
All of that.
all right, Rodney, good job, dude.
Boom.
Boom.
Skis,
All
man.
right, thanks again for joining us, everyone. All right, we'll see you next time.
We will see you next
All
time.
right, bye bye.